Welcome to Plat Chat Overwatch, episode 237. I'm not yelling, Avril. I'm not yelling for this one. I'm not. This sounds spooky. Okay, there you go. Yeah, a little more casual episode. 2 Plat Chat episodes in one day. Who would have thought? Not me. But Avril, you have woken up. What time is it? What time is it?
9. A nice crispy 9.
9 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it'd be like 7. Yeah, but we did an episode earlier today, and now we're doing one more to chat a little bit about OWCS Korea, because we haven't talked about OWCS in like a really long time. So I don't know. It's just the two of us. It's not a 4-person panel. It's not like a quote-unquote show. Yeah. But I figured we'd just chat. I just figured we'd chat about what's going on.
It's the only 2 people that care about OWCS. We figured it out. That's what that is.
Well, I hope there's more. I hope there's more. I mean... Yeah, I actually missed the past weekend because I was in Chicago, which is actually a pretty cool city. You know, it makes me want to go back to Chicago. Yeah, I've never been to Chicago. Been to the airport a couple times, a dozen times, but I've never gone outside the airport, and I did it for the first time. It was cool.
Why does everyone tell me it's dangerous? I mentioned Chicago. Like, oh, that's a dangerous place. Like,
yeah, I think statistically they have really high like gun. Not I don't know if it's gun murder, but like gun accidents, gun. Something.
I'm sure they're accidents, Johnny. I'm sure they're definitely accidents.
Yeah, but I don't know what the exact. I can't quote the statistic, but supposedly there's a lot of gun action, so that's why people say that. I think. But it was actually it was a lovely city. It was in August too. So I was just in the one neighborhood, so I didn't get to explore the full city. But I would go back. I'd go back to Chicago. I was impressed. It was pretty cool. But that did mean that I missed a lot of OWCS action. So I watched a couple of replays. From the big ones, but I guess we should also talk about OWCS Korea. So,
yeah, we haven't done OWCS in a bit of a minute, so this is kind of like the we'll do a bit of catch up, maybe look forward a little bit, and just see where we're at in OWCS right now, because we're in the smack bang in the middle of Korea. Like, some stuff's gone down.
Well, it's 2 weeks, is it?
And basically, yeah, we have some stuff going down in Korea, and then EMEA has sort of start to move along a little bit, so we're stuck in now. We're stuck into OWCS.
I feel like OWCS Korea, and by the way, I have to do something first before we begin here, really. But I feel like OWCS Korea, there's like 3 or 4 formats within the one format, because you got a group play, and then you got the seeding decider, and then you got the play-ins, and then the playoffs. I feel like there's a lot of meat on the bone. Like, this is just an artificially conjured up, like processed beef rib right here. There's so much meat on the bone. Yeah, but like one stage of Korea, it's like 4 months of gameplay.
This is the Churducken of tournaments. That is what it is. It's just there's another meat inside. You got the turkey, and then stuff for the chicken, stuff for the duck, or maybe the duck goes first and then the chicken.
Oh, that's right.
Something like that. And then just right at the end, because you thought it was over, but right at the end there's a quail as well. And that quail is the Asian main event land, because that's where it all lands.
Oh, true.
This, and then another land at the end.
So it's very American, but for some reason we don't have it in America, because we have Face It. I love the format. It's a lovely format, because you get a lot of matches with like the best teams, which I think is what you want at the end of the day. You just want to see the best teams compete, and you also get like a lot of teams you stick around for a long time, so you get to know their names, their rosters. Where we went in a completely different conversation here, but that's the beauty of whatever this is, Avril, which is just you and me talking. We should have a name for this, but I feel like the Korea format, it really just establishes the teams, where at the NA and EU is like, yeah, embrace openness, but it does mean that there are like, I think the fans have a harder time to follow it, because there's so much like roster action going on, and also like you get fewer broadcast matches with the most significant teams anyway, and they don't always play like the best teams. Like, there's a lot of teams where like Space Station are just like stomping their opponents, and you're like, we're not really getting a chance to like see the most fun matches out of Space Station, because the system just doesn't the format doesn't like really support that, I guess.
Yeah, the format's more about giving people a chance to qualify into something important and letting them play in it, whereas Asia's more like, you qualify off broadcast entirely, and then if you do make it, then you get to play in a big long thing.
Yeah, I mean, I know Face It is a thing, and like Face It, they want the format, and I want people to sign up. I know that's a thing, but I genuinely love the OWCS Korea format. I think it's so good. I think it's the perfect amount of complicated and super entertaining to watch, and just keep it going. Just like, yeah, I don't know. I love it. Anyway, so today we're going to do a vibes tier list out of all the action that has happened in the OWCS Korea first. And everyone in chat, feel free to give your opinion in the chat, because we're just vibing here, me and Avril. So if you watched Korea and you have thoughts, give them in the YouTube chat. We'll get to it. But first, it is another episode of Plat Chat, but we still have to talk about our lovely sponsor that we love so very much. It's Manscaped. Today we're here to celebrate the perfect summer grooming companion that will keep you looking cool. I can't believe I'm reading this twice in one day. It feels surreal. Even when it's sitting outside, I'm excited to introduce you the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in the new colorway White Hot from Manscaped. In a sea of options to choose from. To perfect your grooming routine, Manscaped undoubtedly shines, and they're riding the White Hot waves with their special edition trimmer in white. There are limited quantities available in this colorway, so you gotta act fast if you want this. Step up your grooming game this summer with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra and White Hot. Experience precision like never before with the next gen dual skin safe blade heads, an updated trimmer blade, and an interchangeable fold blade for peak performance. These updated blade heads are not just for show. They're designed to keep you looking smooth and sleek under the summer sun. First, the updated trimmer blades feature long, wider, and rounded teeth that cut through hair with ease. And here's where things get interesting. The foil blade, crafted to transcend the boundaries of your typical trimmer achieved with the trimmer blade. This foil blade is designed to leave you with a finish that's irresistibly sleek and utterly bare. It glides gently over your skin, capturing even the finest hairs for a flawless look that's ready to impress, whether you're hitting the beach or just enjoying the sun. Switching between the two blazes of breeze, giving you the versatility you need all for your summer grooming needs. It's like having two trimmers in one, making sure you're always summer ready without breaking the bank. Look at that beauty. I love the white one. I think it's beautiful. I think it's just great. As if the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra and White Hot isn't bright enough, Manscaped upgraded their infamous LED light. No more fumbling in the dark. Those tricky spots are now brightly illuminated. The new LED light also features a dual temperature function designed to flatter a variety of skin tones. If you're part of the OG Manscaped fam, this trimmer is a tribute to the classics, upholding the same features that we all come to love. A rechargeable Lion battery, RPM technology for top-notch performance, a travel lock for seamless portability, USB-C charging, and a comprehensive 3-level battery life indicator. And let's not forget the best part. It's still waterproof. Whether you're at the beach or by the pool, it's always trimming time. Join the 10 million worldwide who trust Manscaped for all their grooming needs and get the special edition Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra and White Hot while supplies last. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code PLATCHAT at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code PLATCHAT at manscaped.com. Thank you, Manscaped. Thank you, Manscaped, as always. We love you. Thanks for making these episodes happen. We meet again, Plat Chatters. That's right. I don't know how to pronounce your name in chat, but that's right. Adrian is vibing too.
Now read it a third time. Let's go.
The third time. Yeah. Plat Chat episode 3 coming out tonight. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I'm sure there's something. Skin tier list. We haven't done it in a while. All right. So here's what I got planned, Avril. Here's what I've cooked up. Because apparently tier list is what we do here on Plat Chat. I find it a great medium to talk about and discuss things and get people's opinions on this. So we're going to chat about vibes. Now, it's not a power ranking. I want to make this very clear because last week people were upset at us at Plat Chat because we did made a tier list, but we didn't determine the rules ahead of time. So they were just like, you just made a tier list with no like rules. What was the point of this? Here's the thing. We're doing vibes, okay? And the way I've thought about this is, Avril, is we're going to put ourselves in like the CEO's shoes or like the general manager. Like if we're paying these players and we're like in a private room, like how good do we feel about paying this roster? Like are we like, this is a young group of fellas. They have a lot of potential. It's all good. Is it like, oh my God, panic? Like, do we have to make roster changes? Or like, is it like, are you ecstatic? Just like, oh, everything worked out. We love these guys. So it's a vibe check tier list. Just like, what are the vibes at the CEO paying salaries level? Does that make sense?
Sure. Or like vibes from just
here are the tiers.
A fan as well. Anyway, I don't know, vibing from any angle, but vibing from the GM could be right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe if you're a fan, I mean, it could just be like fan vibe tier list, but I don't want to speak for the fans because
I do all the time. I just start representing them.
Yeah, I don't feel like I can. I can't speak for the fans of like FNATIC and Falcons. I don't have that level of like connection with those fans. So I don't know. I just give my opinion and sometimes people listen to me and sometimes they don't. So anyway, here are the tiers I propose, Avril. and I want your thoughts on this. We got Let's Go, which I think is pretty self-explanatory. We got Feels Good, Oh No for the struggling teams, and It Is What It Is for the teams that are just, it is what it is.
When you've stopped caring. It is what it is when you've just stopped caring.
I mean, yeah. What are we doing, But, for example, Vegas Eternal.
This is why it's closer to a fan tier list, because I think every Vegas fan last year was like, it is what it is. Like, you've stopped being disappointed. You're just there, you're just vibing at that stage. At some point, as a Valiant fan, you felt the same. It's like, it is what it is. Like, there's no point being upset anymore.
So, because I'm like, if you're a struggling team, but there are no expectations, you can't just be like, oh, I hate this. This is terrible. And it's just like, no, it is what it is. So here it is. All right. I'm gonna let you pick the first team. What is the first team that like you wanna rate there on the vibes tier list, Avril?
Just throw Crazy Raccoons right at the top. As you couldn't be happy with this
let's
team
go.
right now. So
yeah,
I'll just start with the easy one. Get the easy one out of the way. It's you've got the most to be happy about. You're like creating a dynasty in real time. You've lost like only one thing this entire year, but you've won all the important things, so you couldn't be happier, right?
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I mean. You're right. I mean, they're 4-0. They haven't lost a map so far in OWCS Korea. It's kind of funny to reflect on at the start of the year. We were like, yeah, Team Falcons are the favorites, and Crazy Raccoons at the time whack. Just like, yeah, they could compete for the #1 slot. And now it's just all Crazy Raccoons. It's just, they're just so dominant. They were like, yeah, Falcons could be the best team ever assembled. But actually, it's Crazy Raccoons.
You know what it is? It's because a bunch of those players came off a really shaky 2023. The HeeSang, Junbin, Max trio was like, the Shock trio was like, they had a really shaky year. Like, I started to lose a little bit of faith, even though I was one kind of hyping them up in 2023. And then to me, I feel kind of redeemed because I'm like, there it is. That's what they should have done last year. That's how good they should have been last year. Like, I knew it all along, and it's kind of annoying that they weren't that last year. But no, yeah, they are. All those players are kind of living up to their potential now, which is insane. But they're not. I don't think they're gonna lose a single map at this stage of OWCS because they've already beaten Falcons 3-0. So who else is gonna do it? I don't think Zeta's gonna take a map. It'd be insane if Zeta took a map. Have they played FNATIC yet? Even if they haven't, FNATIC is just it's not the same team anymore. So I don't think that's gonna happen either.
Yeah, it's looking tough. They're playing. I mean, they're playing ZETA this Saturday. I think they're playing on Saturday, and. Yeah, they're playing Vesta. So there you go. Oh my god. I mean, it's very green.
It's done. Yeah, they've lost one map to FNATIC. One map to Falcons Toronto in the World Cup, and then 2 maps in Dallas. And then the last time they lost was to Falcons in Dallas in the upper bracket. Which, to be fair, Falcons did really well. They had a really good meta read that event.
Yeah, that double flex. Time. I mean, that was Falcons' chance, right? Like, they're going to be kicking themselves that they did not win Dallas, because that really felt like Falcons' best chance.
It was the ball. His Junbin ball made the difference. That's why he's MVP for that event, right?
Yeah. And the Road Dogg for that one Oasis round.
The one Road Dogg.
Dude, it's actually crazy. It was double flex meta, and Falcons couldn't capitalize. So, yeah, I mean, I think Crazy Raccoons. It's like, it's funny, like you mentioned, it's funny to think about how much some of those players were struggling on Shock. Especially Jonathan and Max, because I mean, we ranked on Plat Chat anyway. We ranked that Shock roster #1 a little bit because of the memes, and then they just fell flat on their face, and we're like, what is happening with like the Max jump-in swaps? And now a year later, they're just by far the best team in the world, and obviously they have Chorong, the best main support. They got Shu, Lip. Like, it's just an unbelievably stacked team. Like, HeeSang, yeah.
You start to understand why we ranked them #1 a little bit as well, because it's like if the players actually played to their potential, we would have been so correct last year of ranking them #1. It would have been so right. But that just never happened. The team got fumbled. It was just a complete mess, right? So part of me again still feels pretty good this year. It's like, oh, there it is. Boom. They're there now. They're actually good now. So yeah, feel good about that.
Yeah. So there you go. Crazy Raccoons. I think they're the easiest to rate here. Because, they're just by far the best team. So, good vibes. Good vibes. All right, where do we want to go next?
Let's go down the list. I think Zeta feels good because they seem to be improving. They beat Falcons, which is huge, and they are looking like the potential second best team in Korea right now. I mean, they were close to beating Falcons in stage 1 anyway, and now they actually have. It's a pretty big result. And funnily enough, ZETA Division's even okay. They're only number 1 in the standings because they played one extra game, the Crazy Raccoon. But yeah, they're third. They're good. The rest of their schedule looking, aside from the Crazy Raccoons game, is looking pretty good. They're gonna definitely at this stage come second in the group. Sure.
Yeah, it's been. Oh, they're playing Old Ocean. That's gonna be a good one. Yeah, I mean, they've been really impressive. I feel like I watched that Falcons match especially, and I was just so impressed by Alpha E. Like, I heard from a lot of people that Alpha E was struggling perhaps a little bit at EWC and, didn't really bring the performances. I feel like Alpha E was just amazing in week 1 of OWCS Korea and really contributed to that win, especially over Falcons. So that always feels lovely. Do you agree with that? That Alpha E kind of popped off?
Yeah, I think he's been good the whole time though. I thought he was good even at the World Cup. I think the problem for them in the World Cup was they didn't. I don't think they did the whole hero ban system well. That's maybe on the coaching side. It wasn't very well played by them. But yeah, they. I think Flora actually is the player that stepped up a lot. I thought Flora was quite weak during the World Cup, and he's much better now in terms of his personal ability. I thought he was going to be a liability coming into the stage, but he's looking good again. And then new player HaeJeokDan has been really good as well. Still got some room, but maybe he'll get to fearless level at 1 at some stage. He's got a lot of potential. A lot of other people that know this guy more and seen him more have a lot of good things to say about how much depth he has and how far he can go. So I think they picked up a good guy to replace fearless with.
Yeah, I mean, I watched HaeJeokDan play and I like undeniably just like insane mechanics. Like really strong mechanics as a Winston player. I do feel like a couple of times per maps, I'm just like, oh, that was a weird leap. Like I didn't quite understand that leap. He does have like insane level of trust in his support, and I think you especially see this when they're playing like double flex lineups, which they've done quite a bit because they have Violet. So it enables them to do that. But you can see that HaeJeokDan has just unbelievable amount of trust in his supports to get him out of tough scenarios. So HaeJeokDan can kind of afford to be this mechanical monster, and then you just kind of pocket him and take care of him. I mean, they did play some Bernard as well, especially in this D.Va, like when they play D.Va, Ana, and Violet playing DLR as well, which has some questionable moments, especially against Falcons.
My favorite play, my favorite game.
I feel like it was a really good meta these first 2 weeks for ZETA Division 2. Like, they could play a lot of different stuff, but it kind of played into their hand a little bit, where especially against Falcons, and I know we're watching a VOD against FNATIC here, but it kind of played into their hand a little bit. They got a great roster. Obviously, they have Bernard and HaeJeokDan, and then Violet's flexibility as well. If they don't play Laurie, for example, and with Alfie popping off, a really well-rounded team in that regard that had a meta figured out.
I think that this game that we're looking at is actually the closest one they've had so far, because it was the only 3-2. The other ones were 3-0s or 3-1s. I still think Flora on Tracer is a little bit of a liability. Actually, they went 5 maps versus PokerFace as well, so it's a team that is maybe being caught up to a little bit here, but I also think it's because PokerFace are looking pretty good, genuinely. I wonder how the D.Va nerf is going to affect Burner, because this is one of his most played heroes, one of his important heroes that ZETA Division have been playing a lot. Maybe they just play HaeJeokDan more. But maybe with Sojin could make a comeback. Flora could just hard lock that hero again. I'm really looking forward to Violet in the next series and just this patch in general, because unfortunately the Alari thing helped them out a lot. That's disappointing. I like seeing Violet throw his ults into just random terrain and lose.
Dude, that Surabasa was crazy.
Throw the reaction up. Throw my clip up. No. And then we have the fact that what is it? The new Lucio changes the 225 HP, which means you're definitely going to Ajax more. But then on top of that, you have more damage. So it helps Violet, and it buffs him and nerfs him, because he was the one playing the Lucio turret style anyway. Just sitting there shooting Cheerios and landing all the headshots.
There we go.
and he was Ajaxing too, so he's going to have the best of both. And we're going to see both. And but I just want the context in the clip. I'm saying please shoot the tree, and the context is he already shot the tree previously. This is the second captive sun in a row that he whiffed. He whiffed 2 in a row.
There's also the one on the point before this where he like gets slept as he's trying to go up the edge or something to the balcony, and he gets slept during his captive sun, and it's ridiculous. I also saw that other clip on Reddit where someone clipped it for Hex. And it was like King's Row, where like he does a sick play and then he climbs up the balcony on King's Row and just feeds his brain out or something. Like Violet is just, well, it's just different this year. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's the one where the guy's like, this man's brain needs to be studied. It's like he's able to make a sick play and then instantly feed right afterwards. The ability for him to be simultaneously the GOAT and a fraud all wrapped up in one person is amazing. I've never seen it before. How he can be both at the same time.
Here it is. Well, he does something sick, I think. Yeah, I mean, okay, it's not sick. He just flanks and get a pick, and then he goes up here.
That's a huge pick. That's like you don't see that from Kiriko's anymore.
And he just goes up and feeds. Like
yeah,
what?
He just straight up dies.
Like, bro,
okay.
just chill. Like you got a pick. Like amazing.
There's no need.
It's amazing. It's hilarious. Yeah. So it'll be interesting because I think the D.Va nerf itself. It's like half a second matrix. It's like, all right, is that gonna be big enough to like really impact D.Va? Maybe we'll see Bernard less, but it will be interesting, especially with so many like health nerfs onto the supports. Like you nerf the health of like Moira, Lucio, which is good for Winston. So I feel like that kind of opens up for a lot of these Winstons to have more impact in OWCS Korea. Like already, like Smurf was struggling a little bit. I felt like, especially against some of these D.Va comps, like we're seeing here as well. Like Smurf just had like straight up a bad time. Here's the first Violet one, right into the tree. But they win the fight anyway.
That was so bad. Did he think the trees just wouldn't stop the Captain Sun? That made no sense.
But by the way, he's probably playing on low quality as well. He didn't see the tree like we did. So there has to be an explanation. True. He didn't see the foliage, right? Surely. So I don't know.
On his screen, the Captain Sun just exploded midair.
I mean, well, there has to be like a branch, like a tree branch or something. And this is the one. He goes up here. He hugs the wall and he captive suns. I don't know if he gets it off, but he captive suns and he gets slept. This is in one map. Like, it's unbelievable.
I forgot about that one. That's actually like 2 whiffed ultimates and then 1 just cancelled by sleep. So good.
Yeah.
So good. Me on a Larry moment.
But yeah, Smurf, I feel like Smurf struggled. And you could see this against both Falcons and in this map. I feel like Smurf just struggled on the Winston. Like, he didn't sync up with Proper a lot. He got peeled a lot by the D.Va. And like, you'd think like, oh, just go in and get value, against Iloriana. But like, the dice just didn't work. Chio kind of got exploited on Brig. Didn't have a lot of value. So I feel like maybe this opens the door for Winston to have a bit more carry potential. And you can play around that half second or whatever of D.Va. It's not a substantial change, but it opens the door, I feel like, at least for Falcons to maybe return to form somewhat. I don't know.
I think we're probably moving into Winston meta. I don't know if that's good or bad for Falcons. I actually think it might be bad for Falcons because I think Smurf is still kind of slumping a little bit. I think Harman's the better player for this team right now.
Yeah.
So we might as well rank Falcons at this stage. We're already talking about them.
Yeah, you want to go back to the Vibe tier list? It's worse for Falcons. It's not a feels good, so it has to be an oh no, I suppose, for Falcons.
It's definitely an oh no.
Yeah,
because it's a team that has expectations attached to it, and everyone's like, they're not quite matching up to expectations. And to be fair, I think you'd be still okay with this team if it wasn't for the fact that they lost to ZETA, because now they've lost that like top 2 solidified aura, whereas before, okay, they're not as good as Crazy Raccoon, but at least they're guaranteed top 2. You know this is a top 2 team through and through. But now they lost to ZETA, it's like, oh shit, are they still a top 2 team? Are they going to Stockholm? Like, they could actually miss out on Stockholm if they don't, become better than ZETA again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm not on board yet. I really am not on board yet with the Falcons. Like, I know people are freaking out a little bit because they lost to ZETA, but I don't know. You lost to Crazy Raccoons and ZETA. Like, it happens. Like I feel like I'm in like it happens.
It is
stage.
what it is.
No, it's not. It is what it is, but it happens. I mean, it happens stage, which is not
you need a new tier called It Happens.
It happens, but I don't know that they'd be the only one in It Happens.
It's true. They would be the only one.
Add a row. Move it up. It happens. That's
it happens.
Kind of
dot.
I think there's undeniably some like weak points. You like clearly look at Chio, and there you can't make the argument anymore that Chio is the best main support in the world because Chorong, and even I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself saying that Violet is like the top 2 main support in the world. Depends on like how you value the different heroes I support, like Lucio Brig, etc. But I'm not freaking out about Falcons yet. Like I'm just not. Maybe the fact that Stalker is just MIA, and there are different rumors that like he got burnt out, and then I heard another rumor that it's like, yeah, I don't know why I'm not seeing playtime. So I don't know what's happening with Stalker. That I would freak out about that a little bit.
This is a lot of fan rumors. There's a lot of fan theories coming through.
It is. This is Twitch chat rumors, by the way.
This is what happens. You get to the end of a season in Game of Thrones, and everyone's like, "Oh, does this character make it? Oh, that was a cliffhanger. I'm not too sure what happens to this character." And they just all come up with the fan theories, and that's what that sounds like to me. But no, okay, sure. Stalker is MIA, which is like a little disappointing because there are certain maps where I'm not even joking. All Happy does is play Trace the whole time. I'm like, bro, why didn't they just sub in Stalker? This makes no sense. Why is Happy just playing Stalker heroes for no reason? It's just so strange. Like, and Happy, he's not lip. Can I say that? I don't want to be offensive. No, it's not. But he's not lip. That's the problem. He's good, but he's not lip. So it still doesn't feel good enough. Still doesn't feel like he's comfortably fit into this team the way you want. Now, what it does do is allow proper to play flex DPS again, which if that was the goal, then great. But there are still maps where you're going to play double flex DPS anyway, and those maps, you might as well play Stalker too. What I'm saying.
Yeah, I think there are some concerns here. I don't feel great. I don't feel great. We'll see what happens. I'm still in the it happens here, but
like
I'm concerned.
Chio's being exposed a little bit too because now like I can't remember. I think it was the last time they played. At one point, I'm watching. I'm like, dude, just sub in Majet at this point. Play double flex support. I'm not lying, dude. Seriously, because I don't know. I was not feeling Chio and Field. They were on a death simulator. These two were just constantly picked. It might have been in this series. It might have been in the Crazy Raccoon series, but they were not living. This backline that we used to call the Adamantium backline, it's become tinfoil, dude. It's become real tinfoil. They are just melting, and I can't understand it.
It is suspicious.
Chio's form in World Cup as well was unfortunate because he didn't have the hero pool. He doesn't have the hero pool to play double flex, and Chorong Shu do.
Yeah,
is really big for Chorong and unfortunately not very good for Chio. And I think to me the magic of this field of Chio backline is kind of it's kind of dissipating away. It's kind of like fading. This magical backline is just. You're not feeling it. You don't feel the vibe of the backline. The aura is. I think they've lost the aura. Genuinely, this backline's lost the aura. And I think Smurf is again, as I mentioned previously, not particularly in great form. So you have 3 players that I think are lacking right now, and then you have Stalker MIA, and then you have Proper doing his best.
You're making me feel
every now and then on a Coliseum. This Coliseum, I think he hard carried on. Every now and then he'll like hard carry a map like this Coliseum, and then Happy for the longest time, at least at the start of the season at week 1, he was hard forcing Cass while we were playing in an Ashe meta. Everyone's playing Ashe, and this dude just refuses to play Ashe. At least he plays Ashe now, so maybe Happy slowly getting back into the groove.
This was also the Colosseo where Zeta rolled out with like Soria. Did they roll out with Soria? Yeah, I think so.
I remember.
And they just got like their stuff pushed in like the first 3 minutes, and I was like, okay, this is over. Just go next. And then, oh my god, fast forward to the Fuller hold. That was genuinely one of the craziest maps.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was wild.
Yeah. So the 4th map in this series, Solomon, is just, I mean, ZETA Division gets full held on King's Row, and then they fuller hold Falcons on point A. Like, who does that? When was the last time we saw a fuller hold between 2 top teams? Like, what?
in Pacific earlier today, but you could argue.
Okay, oh my God.
Top in Pacific, that is. They were top in Pacific. But
because it's like, these are two of the best teams in the world.
Yeah,
and they fully hold each other. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is a giant fumble by Falcons. To get full held is insane. But Falcons, ideally, they shouldn't have lost this map if they played everything correctly. And the ending is the most tragic part because Fielder was like a few % away from getting nano, and he just couldn't see any teammates. He couldn't find anybody to nano. And so I think they literally lose without him nanoing anybody, if I remember correctly. He gets no nano.
I think he nanos the brig, actually, that's like right next to him. He gets 0 value. It might have been to like try to avoid like a pulse bomb or something like that.
The end of the map, exactly.
At the end of the map? I'm not sure.
Yeah, at the exact end of the map. And I just remember I was watching this in real time. I was like, oh, this is so tragic. So tragic. The OT hits and bro he can't see anybody and it's just done. It's just over. I'm like, this is it. This is the fall of Falcons. The teamwork is cooked.
Yeah, it was crazy. They have no ults. I guess Fielder builds it, yeah.
The nano is just not there. Also, it's not even it's like the team's fault, but also Fielder he's just not hitting enough shots. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, where was dude's nano? It just wasn't there. She didn't get it in time.
Yeah, they get a little bit of cap. HaeJeokDan gets nanoed. Looks for some value.
And then where did the players start falling? There it is.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess
goes down.
Here. I see.
And then he can't see Smurf.
That wins
He's about to get nano. Now, as soon as he hits 100%, everyone dies. That's how tragic it is. As soon as he hits 100%, everyone dies.
But it was like crazy hold because they even got picks on Flora. Like, they were legitimately in like 5 versus 4 scenarios on attack, and they just couldn't close it out because someone would come out clutch. It would be like HaeJeokDan, coming in, like diving in. It would be like Violet finding a rogue pick on like Kiriko onto a Tracer or something like that. And they struggled so hard to get like space on that map because they'd walk in with like the Chio Brig and they just get stuck in like hotel or something like that. And they just wouldn't get any value. Like, HaeJeokDan would just dove right on top of them, and there'd be like a Kiriko with like a Suzu, and like Finn would throw like a sick nade. Just negative ultimate value. It was just like an overall insane full hold. Yeah, I screamed IRL, or whatever the kids say. It was nuts.
Yeah. It's a good game, though. It was a really good series.
It was. It was really fun. It was really fun. All right. What team do we have next here on the vibes tier list? Because, wow, that felt really bad for Falcons. I felt like depressed by the minute, the more we just talked about Falcons.
Yeah, they just from where they were, it's like I said, it's even probably somewhat acceptable. Just like, yeah, they're top 2. But now the top 2 is like in jeopardy. It's a little scary for them.
Yeah.
So should we do?
Yeah, because they only have 2 slots.
That's how it is. Asia has 2 slots again. FNATIC, baby.
Okay, so FNATIC kind of restored their reputation. It started out rough because they lost to ZETA, Crazy Raccoons, and PokerFace. So they were 0-3, but then they finally got 2 wins on the board against Vesta and HaeJeokDan. So they're 2-3, but they did lose to PokerFace, which I think was a real fail. Oh, that was one of the worst series I've ever seen, by the way. Holy moly. I'm not even overreacting. That was a disappointing match from them.
I'm wondering if this should be an 0-0 for FNATIC because they underperformed at World Cup and now they're still looking like they're not quite a top 4 team. You know what I mean? It feels like they're just kind of maybe 5th, just kind of peering out of top 4. It really depends how HaeJeokDan continue to do. But Falcons FNATIC will get 1 win versus Old Ocean and then they'll probably lose versus Falcons, which puts them at
3 and 4.
3 and 4. Oh. That's a negative scoreline. 3 and 4. Although,
how does that affect their? Yeah, they get 5th and 6th anyway, right? So
like PokerFace might be a top 4 team right now, which is insane to say. It's actually the important games. HaeJeokDan versus PokerFace on the last day, super important because I think that match might determine top 4. But FNATIC. Would you agree? Would they be an 0-0 right now, given that they were like solidly top 4 before, and now they're losing to PokerFace? They bombed out at World Cup. They've lost Viper. Maybe they cut Viper. They cut Fate.
Yeah, how do you feel about the roster changes for FNATIC?
Well, I think attack wasn't particularly good, so I don't really care about them losing attack. But it does mean that Dongak has to kind of like really round out his hero pool, which he's been trying to do. But you still just want to see him play Doom and Winston and Ball, particularly. Ball's still good. Losing Viper as well, it's like you understand why. It's like, well, okay, Checkmate's like the more experienced player. He's the world champion. He's got a better hero pool than Viper. I think Viper on his best day outplays Checkmate on both Tracer and Genji. It's my opinion mechanically. But Checkmate's probably just like the more solid all-round player, which is what you need. It's really sad to say that, like, compared to Yeti, this team is only 2 members out of the 5 members of Yeti. It's only Dongak and Knife left on the team. So as much as you're like, oh, this is still Yeti, it's like, nah, it's actually just not Yeti.
It's actually
anymore.
not.
The entire core of the roster's changed. But Knife is having a really good tournament. If there was one play, actually both Knife and Dongak, but Knife in particular, God, this guy is now like really showing off his hyperflex capability, because he was playing a little bit of hit scan before, then he moves to flex DPS a little bit, and now he's like on a bit more of a hard hit scan. He's doing like the proper from stage 1, and he just out-dueled Prophet, the Widowmaker specialist that we all know and love, on Circle Royale recently. I think pretty sure, who does Prophet play? Prophet's on HaeJeokDan, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. Which was insane, because Prophet is really insane that Widowmaker. In fact, last stage I was like, dude, is Prophet like reaching nearly lip? Is he about to like hit lip levels of ascendancy on hit scan? Because he was insane on hit scan last stage. And this stage, he just gets outplayed by Knife, who's not even a dedicated hit scan. He's like a hyperflex moving between roles. So yeah, Knife's having a real big tournament right now. I'm a real Knife head, as everyone should be.
Yeah, I mean that's part of why the Yeti lineup was so much fun in stage 1, right? But now, I mean, I get it. I like, just like you, I get it. And you look at the back line and you're like, yeah, it's Ryujehong and it's Ayaki. But like, I just have a bad taste in my mouth after watching that PokerFace series from week 1. Because my God, man, like they got like full held on Blizzard World, I think. And it was the most uninspiring Blizzard World I think I've ever seen in my life. They straight up, like the first fight on Blizzard World, they're just like all in int. Like all 5 of them. They just like try to like all in int. And then the next fight, they're like, that didn't work. Let's just all spread out. And then they just got picked apart like one by one. Dorado, I think there's like a C9 or something like that. And the New York City, I can't recall the New York City. It was like a week and a half ago at this point. But I don't know. I left that series just like panic mode. Just like I felt so bad for FNATIC. I was just like, this looked really bad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the New York City was pretty bad as well. So I know I was like really panicking for FNATIC in this series particularly. Is this a C9? This could be the C9. We're on attack. We got a Nano Winston going. We got 5 members up. We got a pick. There were 5 versus 4, and we just not on the card. So
I remember I remember watching this and like rewinding a YouTube, like, wait, were they like dead or something? It's like, nope, all 5 were alive. Everyone was alive. I'm like, oh, okay. That happened.
There was also I left this series just like, oh my God, they're done.
This was the big oh no moment. If you wanted to choose a specific oh no for FNATIC, this would have been it.
Yeah.
The most recently, Jagon Ajax also did it for me as well. He went for a beat on 50 HP. I can't remember which map it was. It might have been in the Vesta Crew series. It could have been in the HaeJeokDan series recently. I know it was this last week. He went for a 50 HP like sound barrier. And this was before season 12 as well. This was when Lucio still had 250 HP. He goes for a barrier at 50 HP out of 250. And I'm just like, no way, dude. Why? That was insane. Why would you do that? It was bad.
Yeah. I mean, they won 2 matches they needed to win against Vesta. And we can talk about HaeJeokDan, but I mean, yeah, I feel like those were 2 matches they had to win. They're gonna beat Old Ocean for sure. Yeah. So they'll at least get like a 5th to 6th spot, you know.
This is kind of like a lower tier version of Falcons, in the sense that like Falcons the oh no part of their roster is like, okay, they're meant to be top 2 and now they're struggling to get top 2, which means they might not make Stockholm. For Fnatic, it's the same but lower on the list where it's like they used to be top 4, now they might not make top 4, which means they're not going to make the Asia LAN. We know Fnatic's not going to Stockholm, but that's not the goal. They're trying to make the Asia LAN later this year before Stockholm, and they might not make that if they don't secure top 4, which is at jeopardy now. So, yeah, similar stakes at a different kind of tournament level.
Yeah. Pull up the Vibe tier list. Let's see where we're at. See where we're at here, Solomon. Yeah. Oh no. That's right. I feel like we should just delete the it happens and just move Falcons into oh no.
Yeah, fair enough.
It just makes more sense. Good. I was trying not to make a point with like it happens, but oh no probably seems more appropriate here. Okay. Do you want to move on to PokerFace?
Feels good, baby.
Feels good.
Straight away. No, for sure, for sure. They upgraded their roster. They're starting to take down some teams that were ahead of them last stage. And they're legitimately threatening a top 4, which is so exciting for this team that, you know, probably had very low expectations. Considering where they were last stage, you know, the expectations were not high. So I think they've this team stepped up massively.
Yeah, I remember I was watching one of the series and I was just like really impressed by Belosria. It might even have been in La Loss. Let's see. I took some notes here. Sorry, I should have this ready to go. Damn it, I can't find the match. But I remember watching this team and I was just like, wow, like Belosria is popping off in 2024. And I was just like, kind of like blown away by how much impact they was having on, because it's funny, like sometimes like some of these players, you're just like, you kind of think they're a known quantity. You kind of like, oh, I've seen this player play before. I know who they are. But Belosria was just like popping off. It might have been in the ZETA series, to be honest, even. And I just felt like Belosria had like a lot of impact on the Winston that was. So
oh no, that. yes, it was. It was the match where we all expected Belosria to get absolutely dunked on by HaeJeokDan, but then he actually popped up and Belosria was a real force. And it was like, oh man, this guy's good. This is like map 5 Belosria, but like in other maps that are not map 5. And then I think ironically they lost map 5, didn't they? So unfortunately, map 5 Belosria didn't actually happen in map 5.
Yeah. So what else do we got here? Sorry, I was typing in chat. Anyone else on this roster? Proud has some moments. Like Proud has some moments where I'm like,
he's good.
I respect Proud.
He's my next lip. I think he's got the potential. He's super young player, extremely good hit scan. He's a dedicated hit scan player that has a little bit of flexibility, but he's
17. Wow.
He's got such raw mechanics on hit scan that I think, you know, his limit, his ceiling is like reaching lip level. I think he's got it within him. He's my like next player to watch out for. He has been for like a good year now, but because he's been so young, he hasn't been able to play in Overwatch League or anything like that. He wasn't as talked about. Like I just had him in the back of my mind, be like, okay, this guy's a player you need to like really remember moving forward that he's going to do some damage. And coming into this year, he's been on that for sure. He's had so many good moments. The amount of times, I can't remember which map it was, that he just snipes Violet out first death. I'm like, oh, so good. And this is the mark of an excellent hit scan as well. I don't want to see this all the time, but I do if they're insane at hit scan. Is they just go for the like, I don't know if it's like a rage swap to Widow or like an ego swap to Widow, but in a situation where you probably shouldn't play Widow, dude will just swap Widow. And in a situation where people would feed on Widow, he actually just carries. He swaps Widow in a situation he shouldn't, and he just starts clicking heads. I'm like, yo, this guy's nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember he did that on, I think it was towards the end of Colosseo against ZETA, and it didn't work out. But someone in my chat was just like, oh, I actually like hate that Proud swap to Widowmaker like the last 2 minutes on Colosseo. And I was just like, actually, they banged their head against the wall for 8 minutes on this push map, and they couldn't get anything going. Like, they could win like one fight every 2-3 fights, you know? Like, they were just not getting anywhere. And I was like, if you got a Widow player, just like throw it out. Like, you know, just try to get something going. Try to pop off on Widowmaker for a minute if you got nothing going for you.
Isn't it this map? Suravasa, first 2 points he played Widow, I'm pretty sure. If we just rewind,
yes, that's right, actually, because he was like hedging towards spawn and just like let Violet like walk into him. Yeah.
You shouldn't play Widowmaker on this map at all. And somehow he won 2 points on Suravasa playing Widow. And then they 3-0'd ZETA on Suravasa.
Yeah.
That was it was incredible. It was incredible.
It was really fun. Yeah, now when you say that, I do remember that. Because it was funny the first fight. I was just like, oh, this is interesting. Let's see if this works. And Violet just walks straight into the Widowmaker's crosshair. No idea that like Proud is lurking there. And then you play like the long sight lines on like A, and like you try to peel and you know, make room for your Widow. So yeah, it was actually well executed. But yeah, exciting prospect. 17 years old. I don't know if I want to do like the new lip. That's like going to the NBA and just like, yeah, this is a new Steph Curry.
I think that's his ceiling. I think that's his ceiling. I think that's like the trajectory he's headed down if he keeps this up.
Yeah, because lip is like the GOAT. Of course, it's the ceiling.
Like in terms of well, not but it's his ceiling, which means like not everyone. I wouldn't say that about every single hit scan player. I don't look at other hit scan players instantly and I think, oh yeah, this guy will be there. Like unfortunately for it's a lot of the veterans as well. Like you know where their ceiling is. And unfortunately, I don't think anyone would really look at Happy and be like, yeah, he's got a lip ceiling. I'm like, no, I think we know where Happy's ceiling is. And unfortunately, it's just not lip level. And that's just, it is what it is. It happens, right? He's in the, it happens, ... tier of individual players. He's still good. Like, I don't want to make it sound like he's not good, but I'm just like, if you want him to compete with lip, it's not going to happen right now. Or maybe ever. But Proud, you give him another year, I think he's there. Like, he could legitimately be there. He's showing the mechanics and the capability already at this stage. 17, first year up against Overwatch League players. Last year in Contender's career, I was like, I think this guy's the best hit scan in Contender's career. Genuinely. That was last year. And now this year, it's like he's actually up against the big dogs, and he's still proven it up against the actual good teams as well. So, and PokerFace is now like a powerful team because I think they upgraded basically every position. They basically retooled the DPS line around Proud. Choice 1 got added to the team, which on one hand, you're like, oh no, Choice 1 got put on another mid team. But then when you consider that the rest of the team starts to be really well-rounded, Choice 1's actually adding value to this team. He might be, alongside everyone else, pushing PokerFace into a top 4. Adding an actual main tank was really good because they had Peppy Jasmine last stage. I'm like, that makes no sense. Double off tank, you're smoking something here. Balasri is coming in and he's looking really good. Fixer, I think this is Fixer's first tournament back since the injury. Like, he's missed every single Overwatch thing there was to play since playoffs last year, and this is his first time back since the injury. And I had good feelings about Fixer last year before the injury. Like he was starting to get into a groove. You know, he was starting to look like a really, really solid main support. So he's come back, and putting him alongside someone like Simple, who's been a long time. Still, I don't want to still say he's up and coming because I feel like he's had enough time to prove himself now. But he's been like a good above average, above middle tier flexible. They could probably still upgrade from Simple if they wanted to. They got a better player, but yeah, PokerFace generally now, you look at their roster, I'm like, this is just a better team compared to last stage.
Yeah, that's pretty much sums up my thoughts as well. So they're top 4 bound after their wins against FNATIC in particular, which means they get to play the seeding matches. They don't have to worry about the last chance bracket play-ins. That's assuming, though, of course, that they will lose to using my eyes, using my brain. They will lose to Falcons. I think they'll lose to Falcons. Come on, I can't predict Falcons.
They'll probably lose to Falcons. They'll probably lose to Falcons. Yeah.
They'll lose to Falcons, probably. I think people kind of like are praying for Falcons' downfall. I think they lose to Falcons, and then
here's the thing: if Falcons lose to PokerFace, you can just write them off. At that stage, I'm done with them as well. I can't defend Falcons anymore if they lose to PokerFace. As much as I like PokerFace, you know, it'd be huge for PokerFace, but bro, Falcons, that team's so donezo if they lose to PokerFace. They can't. For their mentals, they can't. He's about to fucking, you know. I try to name a wrestling move. You know what I mean? He's about to fucking kill somebody on the team. You know, he's about to strangle somebody. He's about to drag Dongak back onto the team just to kill him. So
if Turret Lucio is just like really good now, like Chio might just get bailed out here. And they can kind of like revert to what made them so good and just play comfort. Don't worry about this Ilari diva bullshit. You know, just play a good meta comp that kind of like suits what made you guys great. And
probably play Brigana. I think Brigana is still going to be really strong. Brigana had no nerfs, so.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Next team?
Yeah, next team. Where are we at?
Old Ocean?
Okay. Old Ocean. The comeback of Ryujehong. I'll start here, Avril.
Okay, go.
I gotta call out the elder abuse in chat. Because I watched some of these Old Ocean matches, specifically in week 1, and chat were so rude to my boy Ryujehong. I don't know why I said my boy. He's actually like 5 years older than me or something like that. He's actually an old head. And also has some questionable views that we won't get to. But people were just like in chat making fun of Ryujehong. At one point, someone in chat asked, does Ryujehong knows that he can like jump up with his exo boots on Baptiste? Like, does he know that that's an ability that Baptiste has? And I was like, they're just hard flaming Ryujehong. Like, this is just unbelievable. So I don't know. I enjoyed it. People have kind of accepted that he's just, you know, they're kind of like carrying him. You know, there was just Korea, but it's funny. It's funny. It's funny.
This is the ultimate "it is what it is" team. No expectations, no expectations, and they're playing exactly to the 0 expectations. The 0 in their name, unfortunately, might be the scoreline at the end of the season, which is very sad to say. But at this stage, the only team they could have possibly have beaten was Vesta Crew, and they lost to them. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be a bit of a donut.
It was a close one. 2-3.
It'll be their only close one as well, because their last 3 games, Falcons, FNATIC, and ZETA, I think. And even though FNATIC in week 1 didn't look amazing, in week 2 they did, so FNATIC is still unfortunately a tier or multiple tiers above Old Ocean. But it's crazy because Old Ocean's roster is like not really that bad. Like, they got good players. If you just ignore Ryujehong, you're like, oh, this is a good core. It's like a really good core of players.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I said somewhere, I was just like, I would not have predicted the Faith and Ryujehong backline in 2024. Like, Faith went from playing with Isang to Ryujehong in the span of a year. It's just incredible. Kalios as well, coming in on Winston. I'm just like, oh, the Kalios Winston is here. I'm just, okay, what is happening?
It's actually not look bad. That's actually one of the positives on the team.
The Kalios Winston?
Yeah, genuinely.
Wow.
Genuinely, it's been one of the positives.
I was spreading misinformation.
I thought it was going to be tragic, but it actually looks pretty good. Like, for an off-tank play, I'm like, dude, this off-tank Winston's going hard. It's not bad at all.
I'm flaming Kalios.
Yeah, you should stop playing with Kalios.
I'm sorry.
If you keep flaming him, he'll no play, so you got to be careful about that.
He no play. Well, I think he's already no play, because I'm pretty sure he said, didn't he say he's going to like rest up or something? I don't know if that means taking a match off, but I don't know what they do.
No,
I don't know. He put out a tweet, and it was just like,
when?
I need to like rest up or something. I don't know. They don't have an alternate tank though. Well, they have Ruler, but I don't know if Ruler is eligible. I don't know what the deal is. It says Ruler is a substitute.
I've never seen Ruler before. I don't know what this. I've never seen this guy play. Never heard of this guy. I know nothing about this guy. So if they sub Ruler in, I'm concerned.
It says substitute on the roster card.
Yeah, I know. But
so I don't know.
Kalios is Kalios. He's at least experienced. He's been like digging into a little bit of coaching. He's clearly the leader of the team in terms of like shot calling and captaincy. So
yeah, I think what really just like disappointed me was that when they lost to Vesta, they should have won New Queen Street. Because I think they took an early lead on New Queen Street, and Vesta rolled out playing like Sigma or something, and I was just like, okay, it's over. Like, Vesta rolled out on like a Sigma, it's over. Or maybe they played Sigma later in the map, but I was just like, this should be a done deal. Like, Old Ocean should win map 5, and instead Vesta made like a big comeback on New Queen Street, and I was just like beside myself. I was just like so sad. I was like, oh my god, can you imagine Ryujehong coming back and winning his first series? That'd have been amazing. So it was really disappointing. I thought they were gonna win this 5th and final map against Vesta, and I was like, this is the only match you can realistically win. And they take a 70-meter lead because they're playing freaking Sigma here, and it did not work out. But I think they swapped like Junker Queen later in the map as well. So I really thought Old Ocean had it in the bag. I was rooting for Ryujehong to get his first match win in 2024 with this roster, but no.
It's all right, man. It's not bad for Ryujehong's first ever push map, no?
First ever push map.
First time ever playing push. He's like, oh, what is this game mode? Like, never touched it before. Yeah, not a bad showing. Who's like, what is a push part?
Isn't he? He's like,
why is there only one tank on my team? All this.
I don't know if he's still, but like before the injury, he was like a popular streamer, right? He's probably still streams.
No, I'm being facetious. He has obviously streamed.
He's obviously played push before.
He's obviously played push before.
Yes,
true.
I was not doubting that. I recognized it was a joke, Avril. What else was I gonna say?
It's just funny thinking about like pretending he's like 70 years old, never seen one tank before. Every time he dies, he's like, where's my diva? Where's my off tank? And it's just like, he forgets he's playing 5v5.
Sunba, where are you? It was funny in the intro video as well, because they do like the player interviews or whatever. And he goes out to say just like, someone help, we need help with travel costs. Like, we have to pay out of our own pocket to pay for travel. Someone please help us. And I guess maybe someone's taking like the train to the Esports stadium or something. But
somebody must live far away on that team. I don't know.
Yeah. Just take the train into Seoul for a weekend. Get a couple of matches in. Being housed somewhere. Have some Korean barbecue. Oh, I really want Korean barbecue. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's what the extent you can say. Credit to the players. They said they did this for Ryujehong. They were like, Ryujehong was like, let's pick up a different flex support, and they were like, no, we're gonna carry you. we're gonna carry you. We don't need another flex support. So that was pretty funny. But yeah,
I will say they've been getting maps at least. This would be really tragic if they went 0-3 every game. But here's the thing about Korea: even the worst team, at least if they can get maps, keeps it interesting. They're probably not going to win the series, that is, but the individual maps is still like kind of worth watching, because like, oh, could they win this map? And then oftentimes they do. Not versus the best teams, but versus everyone else, it's possible.
Yeah, they're playing FNATIC, Falcons in group stage, and then they'll probably play Vesta again, right? In the
so they might get a map versus FNATIC, and then Falcons is that'll be a struggle. So not going to be a good ending for them this season, but at least versus FNATIC, they might get something done.
Beat Vesta in the lower bracket semifinal, please. Come on. And then maybe you have a chance against, like, I don't know, HaeJeokDan or FNATIC.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forget everyone gets to go to
the play-ins, yeah.
The play-ins. Yeah, that's right.
It is what it is for Old Ocean.
They are the ultimate it is what it is team. Yep.
Yeah, in this scenario it is. I also feel like Vesta is just like it is what it is. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like very like uninterested in Vesta. Like I just don't care about this team. That feels really rude. But like straight up, I'm like, you're not gonna be a top 5 team. Like I'm sorry. But you're better than Old Ocean. You don't have Ryujehong.
Because they have no ex-Overwatch League players on the team. But they're like starting to, push the envelope a little bit, but not quite enough. I think the star player on this team is Dart, the D4RT. Everyone's a Dart head now.
Yep.
As he's the guy that's kind of like, he's making a name for himself on this team to try and really get Vesta somewhere. I don't know. I got excited about Vesta. I was like, oh, could they be a real team this season? Just like the stage beating Old Ocean, but then you realize that's Old Ocean and it's still a map 5, and they're still just a tier below everyone else, sadly. But they have their moment. This is the numbers team. People like to call them the numbers team because they have Dart with a 4 and a Minute with a 1 and a 2, Gurren with a 3, and I'm like, dude, all they need is Jinsung needs to change the S to a 5, and Lego needs to change the G to a 6, and maybe the 0 to an O, the O to a 0 rather, and they have like all numbers from 0 to 6 all covered. That's what they need.
I just have like an irrational hatred for numbers in their names. Like I just don't get it.
Yeah, here we go. Solomon's going to do it right now. There it is.
He's cooking with the inspect.
S to the 5, and then boom, all the numbers.
Less 60. Is that what it says?
60.
Less 60.
60.
Farmer with a 3 instead of an E. Yeah, there we go.
I got 2 3s. I feel like the 3 got taken already, but
4 instead of an A. Yeah, this is true lead speak. I hate it so much, man. I hate it.
A dream numbers team.
It's so bad when players have numbers in their names. And I say this as someone who used to have numbers, okay? I used to spell reinforce with a 1 instead of the I. It was bad, okay?
So late.
I'd have capital R, capital F. It was so bad. It was genuinely terrible. I was like 15, and then I was like, wait,
Solomon,
this actually sucks.
Show it to me right now. Show me what it looks like.
It was
I
so
need to
bad.
Visualize it.
But then I saw the light, and I'm begging for these Korean players, please see the light. Recognize the awfulness that is numbers in the name. Like, look how bad that is.
Is that how it was?
Bro, I fit right in on Vesta crew roster with that nickname.
You could be on Vesta crew.
It's so bad. Name. It's so bad. Please get rid of the numbers in your names. Especially Sparkle. Sparkle quit it. Like, where does the 9 come from? Are you serious? You put a 9 in your name? Like, come on.
SP9.
SP9. It also sucks because there used to be a Swedish Quake player who was called Sparky, and he did like the same thing. So with a 1, so the 1 represented an I, and then for Sparkle, the 1 represents an L. So every time I read Sparkle, I read Sparky, because that was a Quake player. So anyway. It's throwing me for a loop. This was my 2 minutes of venting about numbers in your names. I hate it. Secret City. I think people are loving this episode because in the chat, Secret City writes, how many rocks do you think you could eat without throwing up? People are loving the OWCS Korea. It's
I don't even want to imagine it. I don't even want to imagine.
It depends on the size of the rock. Anyway.
That's true. Yeah. So
do you want to say anything about Vesta? Because I'm not going to say anything about Vesta.
Yeah. Low expectations, and they're meeting the low expectations. There's not a lot. It is what it is team, because you're not disappointed at all that they are where they are. They at least got a series win. I think, there's a bit of a celebration. They got their first ever series win. No, actually, it wasn't even their first series. It was their first map win. If you scroll down and look at their stage 1 results, 0-3 across the board. How tragic is that? So the fact that the Old Ocean game was not just their first match win, it was their first map win as well, all wrapped up into one. That's how serious that win was. And no, I don't count the Hammer Cup. Unfortunately.
Hammer Cup, China and Korea battle.
I don't count it.
Wait, Super Chai China? I didn't even know Super Chai had a Chinese team. This is amazing.
Wait, the Super Shy China? Really?
We need to get Kenobi on here.
Holy shit, there's a Super Shy China. Super Shy got a team in every region? What's going on?
Yeah, we love Super Shy. Overwatch University League. I have no idea what that means. Dude, I actually thought about this the other week. Like, I don't know how much I would pay out of pocket, but I wish I had like a connection for OWCS Japan, and I would just like fly to Japan and just like live in someone's living room, like on a mattress for a week, and just like document what the OWCS scene is like in Japan. Like, I just go full Anthony Bourdain and just like travel and see what was up and just live their culture, and like, okay, so like, how do you practice? Like, how are things going here? Like, show me the practice facility. aka your living rooms. Like, I'm just curious, like, what's going on over there? I have no insight to what's happening in OWCS Japan. Like, I can see the matches, I can see the results, but like, I want to go there. Like, I've been to Korea, I've been to Apex, like, I know I've been to the Esports stadiums. Like, I know that. I'm like, OWCS Japan is just popping off, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, I want to experience the culture. I want to experience the living there.
Brother, you are not a Portuguese missionary discovering South America for the first time. Okay, it's not like that. It's not like that. What do you mean? How do they practice? They jump on a computer and they play Overwatch. What do you mean? How do they? What?
I don't know.
They play Overwatch. What are you talking about?
Dude, I mean,
talking about like a brand new land. Like, oh my, what is the Japan? Like, we're watching Shogun right now, and you're fucking John Blackthorne's like, never seen Japan before. What is this strange place? Like, come on, dude. Like.
I was gonna say something really bad there that has something to do with the way Spain and England operated many hundreds of years ago. But I just want to go because like Tayu is just like popping off as a streamer. Crazy Raccoons fandom. You got what is the meme team called in OWCS Japan?
MFC.
Yeah, I'm not getting invited after literally forgetting the names, but like, I just want to show up to like Varel. I'll just be like, hey Varel, like, what's up? I'm Reinforced, nice to meet you. Let me see you sit behind you when you practice. Namakuji brothers. I'm just like, can I just show up, Namakuji brothers, and just like watch you guys practice? I just want to experience
then you get
it.
there, okay, and then you get there, you watch them practice, like, oh, it's like anyone else practicing. Okay, this is the exact same. It's just dudes playing Overwatch on their computers. Like, okay.
No, but I know that, like, on the most basic level, you can troll me by saying that. And, like, the Reddit commenters will, like, get me and just, like, oh, why does he think it's so different? But, like, genuinely, I think it's like, I want to know about, I want to know what the Japanese fans and players have to say about the Overwatch scene. Like,
they do have a LAN coming up. They do have a LAN coming up.
I'm trying to be serious here. I'm interested in why Japan is popping off this year.
I'm being serious too. I was actually kind of down to go to the Japanese LAN, but it's too far away from the Korea LAN, so I can't like line them up. I don't want to do 2 trips, so I don't think I can go to the Japanese LAN. But they're having a LAN. The Japanese final, I think it might be a LAN. Is it the final or is it the whole playoffs? I'm not too sure. It might be only the final. But yeah, the Japan's getting its own LAN. It's popping off. There are a couple of disconnect issues with the server crashing, but aside from that, it's actually happened across all of Asia, so not even just them. But yeah. But by the way, when you started that whole thing, you're like, man, I just want to live on the floor of some guy's apartment. I'm like, so are you reliving your Dota 2 days? It's just like you're rewinding time 10 years back. Like,
wow,
yes.
I'm surprised you remember that, but yes.
I know some reinforced lore. You taught me a little bit now of the 1 and the F, so I'm matching up the 1 and the F to you living on the floor in Too Good's house or something. I can't remember whose house it was.
It was a basement, but yeah, it was a house. It was a big house. They rented out a big house, and it was just like esports culture. Yeah. So, but yeah, why not? Why, if you got an invite to like, hey, someone like hit you up that has decent understanding in OWCS Japan, and just like, hey, like, do you want to come over for a week? We can like hang out. You know, you can hang around the team, and you know, we can just, I don't know. I do that. That sounds cool as hell. I want to do that. I miss those. Like, I'm just so isolated. I feel so isolated. I'm just in Los Angeles, and I don't get to hang out with players. I don't hang out with teams anymore. I crave. I don't know what the right word is to say. I don't know. I miss it.
I don't think any of us hang out with players at the moment.
Well, I mean, the players in Korea clearly are, because they have a freaking esports stadium.
That's fair enough. They get to hang out.
But yeah, I want to vibe. I wanna.
I'll get you.
Yeah, I want to be a correspondent. Send me places, and I talk about the Overwatch scene. Esports Overwatch scene. Dude, I was so mad. I know this is like a huge tangent, but I was so pissed off. We had the global Overwatch League, and I never once got to go to China to like, what's up with Hangzhou Spark? What's up with Chengdu Hunters? Shanghai? Like, dude, I'd love to go to Chengdu. Are you kidding me? I mean, yeah, COVID happened. But like, I don't know. That felt like a missed opportunity.
We never got Asia homestands until after season 3. Unfortunately, that's the same time COVID happened. So,
do you remember when they had that Hangzhou were like playing in like a mall or something, and there were just like tons of people in like a mall?
That was Guangzhou. Guangzou had
was
it a watch party? I don't know if it was a formal one or an informal one, but they had a watch party there. But no, but they had real homestands. Hangzhou had a homestand. Shanghai had a homestand. Both I remember popped off.
Yeah,
I casted those. So yeah.
I don't know. I just love the global passion for Overwatch, and I want to go share that passion with people, which usually is expressed by like Korean barbecue. But
you'll be able to share it in your homeland in Stockholm later in the year.
That I will indeed. Although, I don't know. There's a decent amount of Swedish Overwatch players, but like most of them play like League of Legends and Counter-Strike and Dota. So the Overwatch scene, I don't think the Overwatch scene was ever that big in Sweden. At least when it comes to like esports coverage and stuff. But we'll see. I don't know.
Next team.
Europeans probably. Next team. Yeah, sorry, I went on a massive tangent, but it was fun. Anyway, I love Overwatch and hanging out, talking with people about Overwatch. Blah. Look, I'm on like this is second Overwatch of Plat Chat in a day. Episode. I'm just all over the place. I feel like my brain is not functioning anymore. Next team, Solomon. Tierlist. Wait, we only have one left.
Is this a feels good? Let me just check the results. This might be a feels good, but I'm just going to check the results.
I think it's a borderline. It is what it is. I also realized that as we've done this vibe tier list, it's almost like a perfect representation of the actual standings. So
I think it might be. It is what it is because no, actually, I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna argue for an oh no.
Okay.
I'm gonna argue for it. The reason I'm gonna argue for it is because there was some reasonable. It depends. It depends where your expectations were. My expectations were higher because I had this team like kind of hyped up to me by a lot of people. Christopher said that this team was insane in scrims during the career boot camp. I was talking to some other coaches as well who had told me that HaeJeokDan was like the next team that was going to start like really threatening the top 4. And I still think they can threaten the top 4, but losing to FNATIC definitely hurts their chances of doing that. Not getting a map versus ZETA also hurts in terms of like showing the capability. Remember, FNATIC got 2 maps versus ZETA. HaeJeokDan didn't get a single map versus ZETA. And you have to get past FNATIC, the gatekeeper team, to make the top 4. Right now, PokerFace genuinely have a better shot at making top 4 than HaeJeokDan do, which is scary. And I think a team with HaeJeokDan, I know people are going to mean, of course they're going to do badly. This is the MAG team. MAG teams always do bad. I'm like, okay, but
I think they're just
they were supposed to do better.
Yeah.
People who weren't privy to the rumors and the scrim bucks, which I heavily buy into all the time, you just assume it's bad because it's MAG on the team, but you know the scrim bucks said they were really good, and now I feel ripped off.
I actually feel like it's 2024 has been a terrible year for Scrimbucks. I feel like Scrimbucks are like at all-time low value. Just like if someone tells me something about scrims, I'm like, I literally don't care, I think. Because like, especially after the Dallas LAN, I'm just like, okay, I kind of don't care what you think happened in scrims. That's just my thoughts anyway. But I don't know. Anyway, going back to HaeJeokDan, I mean, it's a good roster. It's a good roster. And as much as we meme about MAG, I even like going back like a few years, I talked about his wrecking ball on Washington Justice. Dear God. It's an okay team. They got some exciting players. I mean, they got freaking Cest, Prophet, like Vindime as well. Like, I think this is a solid.
Good.
Who?
Sonjin is also really good from TSM.
Oh yeah. So I think it's a good team. I'm just like realistically, yeah, you could probably beat a struggling FNATIC. Let's see, take a look at their matches. Yeah, they just lost to FNATIC actually. Like they got a good roster, but I'm just like, I guess it's hard for me to be enthusiastic about them because I'm just like, you won't be like a top 4 team, you know. Maybe on a good day. Maybe I'm sleeping on this team a little bit. I'm actually changing my mind in real time. That's how established my takes are on this podcast.
See, if you had low expectations for this team, it is what it is. But if you had higher expectations for the team, as I did, it would be an oh no.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure where to put them. I would put them oh no, but again, that's because my expectations were higher.
Yeah, what is the other one? Feels good. I mean, it can't be a feels good because they're 1-3.
Not a let's go or feels good. Let's go is just a hyper version of feels good anyway.
Yeah, I fear that we'll put them in oh no, and people are like, "What are you oh noing about?" I don't know.
I think I explained the oh no. I feel like I justified it, but
okay. They're gonna lose to Crazy Raccoons. They're gonna. Ooh, I mean, there's no way they beat PokerFace. They have like dark horse upset potential.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like the PokerFace game is the important one. That might be a really important decider game. So, because top 4 make the seeding decider and the lower 4 go to play-in. So actually, the cutoff between 4 and 5 actually does matter a little bit here.
Yeah.
I actually said before the stage started that PokerFace was the dark horse team. But now they've kind of like realized, at least to some level, the potential. Now it feels like HaeJeokDan might be the dark horse team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the problem is they'll be 2-4 after they lose to Crazy Raccoons. So they can max go 3-4. And FNATIC will also be 3-4. The map differential is looking tough. I'm guessing map differential is the tiebreaker. 5th, 6th.
PokerFace could go down 3-4 as well. They could lose to Falcons, then lose to HaeJeokDan and go 3-4. You could get some real 3-4 situations.
Yeah, that is important. And then for Falcons are going to be. They're going to get one more. Yeah,
Falcons
I mean,
should
it'd be
sweep this
either PokerFace or Falcons. It can't
There's no
be
way.
both.
There's no way Falcons don't just sweep this weekend. As I said, if they lose to PokerFace, I think that team is mentally destroyed.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember now. That Chio's got to suplex someone on his team. That's what I want to say earlier. I forgot the term. Not enough wrestling in the brain.
Yeah. So it's looking tough with the map differential because they don't have they can't make up that map differential. They're -5 right now. FNATIC are -2. And the PokerFace are +3. So it's gonna be tough. We'll see how it goes. But let's assume they get 5th, 6th. They'll play FNATIC in the upper bracket of the play-ins. And then they'll play the winner of Vesta and Old Ocean if they lose. So, I mean, they should still make it to the playoffs themselves. And I guess when is the playoffs? September 7th? Holy shit, it's going so fast. So, like, in a couple of weeks, that's where you really want to upset, like, the likes of, like, FNATIC and PokerFace, I feel like they have 2 weeks to really make the most of this roster.
Yeah. And we're already in the final week of regular season here for Korea before we go into...
Yeah, it's crazy.
Before we cut through the turkey and get to the duck part.
Get through the turkey, get to the duck part, and then the quail.
Analogy. Yep. Chicken in there too, don't forget, before the quail.
Oh, right. Sorry. I forgot about my poultry sizing. I don't know. All right. So what's the actual tier list in the end here? Let's take a final look at the tier list. Is it actually just the standings? That would kind of be tragic.
Is it?
Kind of.
No, it's not. It's not because
top, yeah.
because ZETA is actually at the top of the standings, so it's actually not the standings.
Yeah. So it's actually not the standings, but yeah, let's take one look here. So we got Let's Go. Yeah, it's actually not. Feels good. ZETA, PokerFace. Oh no, FNATIC, Falcons.
Just swap Crazy Crew ZETA, and then they're just like.
No, don't do that. Don't do it.
Let's go, Violet. Let's go.
I don't know. I feel like it's been an entertaining couple of weeks of OWCS Korea so far. It's fun to follow all of these teams. Except Vesta. So sorry. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. I'm looking forward to this weekend as well. There's so much OWCS because we got EMEA and NA taking place as well. So I'll be co-streaming. Do you quickly want to chat about any of the other regions? I told you before we went live that, like, realistically, I don't think there's too much to say about EMEA and NA after week 1 of group stage, because most of the time it's just like the best team making it out of the group. There's not a lot of close matches. We got a couple of ones like Energy against TSM, and then I might be forgetting about a couple. But
let me mention this though.
Yeah.
Who cares about NA? Because I'm officially a European. You know, I've officially joined EU. I've moved to the EU. I'm an EMEA caster now. That's how it is.
You're an EMEA caster? What are you talking about?
I just casted OWCS this weekend. Oh, yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, I was so confused. Sorry.
Look,
I missed this weekend. I'm sorry. I know you were casting. Yeah, I saw it in the Discord. Sorry. I don't know why I didn't think of that immediately.
Didn't even see my games, Johnny. Damn it.
I watched the replay codes. I'm sorry. I'm a replay code head now.
Oh my God. Didn't even hear my casting live.
I actually didn't. No, I have no idea. I even saw a clip about you were bantering on the desk or something, and I have no idea what happened. I didn't watch it. I'm sorry. That was on.
It's just mentioned me showing our ages, so, you know, boomering out.
Oh, yeah, boomering out. I love that. As someone who is a bit of a boomer, I love that. But yeah, was there something about the EMEA? I mean, Space Station ends, Twisted Minds, Virtus Pro, all qualified 2-0. There's like not really, like even Gaming Gladiators, I think got like 3-0'd.
Yeah, that was actually sad.
Or just fucking playing Ryan.
Like that TM Gaming Gladiators game, I expected more out of GG. GG played really poor in that series, and TM actually came out swinging. I'm impressed by TM because I thought TM were going to be a little bit unstable, but they kept the same roster with World Cup. They didn't change anybody. And a team that's been played by roster instability has actually stayed with the same rosters, and incredible. And it's really surprising to me, but surprising because they actually looked really strong. Quartz was like legitimately world class, top tier on the hit scan. He was so clean on the hit scan.
I love that.
and GG just FD God played a little bit of Zenyatta and fell off the map. He literally walked off the map. I'm not even joking. Genuinely walked off the map. Not on purpose. He just walked off the map.
Accidentally walking off the map. I love it.
One of those moments. And I thought VP SRP Chick was a good game, even though it wasn't close, because I don't know, it was just fun to see Cloudy and the Ryan try and make it work. But VP
was that actually a decent series? Which is probably
okay. Circuit was good. The circuit was good. Busan
Okay.
they got rolled. Kings Row they got rolled.
I didn't see that it went 4 or 5 on circuit. So here's what I did. Like I said, I was a replay code head, and I tuned in to the Busan, the replay code of Busan. And then I was like, legitimately, they were getting so stomped in Busan, just like spawn camped on Sanctuary, that I was just like, I'm not going to bother with the rest of the series because it's a waste of my time. Then I see now, of course, that they've literally gone to overtime on Circuit Real. So I guess I did miss out on the at least Cloudy Ryan at the end of the day.
I will say, VP played Kings Row like a clinic. It was flawless. Their rotations, the way they played the map, the way they just abused high ground and prevented any sort of TP plays from SRP Check at all. It was actually perfect. It was perfect Overwatch, you know? I'm so pleased to have seen a perfect Overwatch. It's actually really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, as someone pointed out in chat, they did beat EXO as well, which at this point is a bit of a different looking roster. But, you know, we'll see what team make it out of the groups. Maybe I'll have to go back and watch some Ellis Cloudy Ryan. That'd be fun.
A watch only circuit. It actually was a good map. It was, yeah.
Okay.
Go back to that one.
Actually, shit, I can't. I'll have to watch UCAS because it's a new patch, so I can't go watch the replay code.
Ah, damn it! You have to watch. Wow, how
I'll mute the
disappointing! You have
casters,
to
don't
watch
worry.
me cast. Oh yeah, fuck you too, I guess.
Oh, it's all good. I'll watch the Oceanic.
Guys, you're even gonna mute Mitch? Come on, you can't do that. That's sacrilege. Come on.
No, I can't do that. No, the Oceanic duo, I can't do that. All right, North America. Anything exciting happen in North America? I watched the NRG TSM match. But besides that,
it was the classic. Ob Sojin put out a video that was like the PGE 22 deaths or something compilation.
Yeah, that I can. Well, that was brutal. I covered that. Yeah, that. I mean, I don't even blame PG because it was not like I know PG died 22 times. But like as you're going through the VOD, you're not really thinking about it because like you're going to overtime, and like there's some overtime fights where like PGE is just like he's died early in a fight, comes back, then he comes back like a third time in a single prolonged overtime fight. So you're just like, okay, well it just adds up, and you know, yeah, he gets dove repeatedly. He's playing Cassidy or whatever. You know, their TSM are playing like they play like Diva, Echo, Tracer or something like diving. Like they're literally just dive the Cassidy. But they're losing, and so like you say like 22 deaths, but it wasn't like an impactful 22. I felt like I wasn't like, oh, PG is feeding, you know?
Right, yeah. He didn't randomly fall off the map. Oh no, I think he got primal.
Wait, he actually did a couple times, didn't he?
Oh, did he? Oh shit!
I think we watched the compilation earlier today. So
what did you think of the PG Sombra? Who was it? Was it Jaws or was it Cuss that was hard glazing the Sombra? I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know. I posted a clip where like he solo EMP that Tracer and accidentally got an Ajax. Because Lep came back with the Samurai.
Oh my god. Accidental Lep Ajax, yep.
Yeah. But I mean they did go to overtime on Eichenwalde, but otherwise I felt like Energy was in control of that series. I mean TSM rolled out with the nastiest control center comp I've ever seen in my life, which is like the Mauga Reaper. What was it? Mauga Reaper. Was it Mauga Reaper May? I don't know. It could have been. And it was just like all in Lucio Moira or something.
Yeah. Lucio Moira, Mauga Reaper May. Oh, yeah. So gross. What a disgusting
That's so
comp.
gross. Actually disgusting. Just like a disgusting comp. So they lost to that. And then like on Night Market, NRG rolled out with like Cassidy, Ilarion or something and just got dove. Like they're just a late swap. Control ultimate disadvantage. So I didn't read into that too much. Group C is pretty interesting, I guess, but Citrus Nightmares kind of been, you know, discombobulated a little bit with Lethal leaving this roster. And then Timeless now is kind of just like Luminosity with Lucamino, Squid.
Yeah. And Nightmare is obviously the second best team
Mm-hmm.
after Toronto, so there's just no way they lose to anyone, right? So standard result here.
ASU reverse sweep. That's right. Reverse sweeped. Tanuki Esports.
I don't know who Tanuki are is the problem. So there's a bunch of red name teams out here.
Yeah, there's
I'm not too sure who those guys are. Like,
that's
I
how it
don't
goes.
recognize any names, unfortunately. It is what it is.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I view week 1 of the group stage. It's like a lot of the 16 team Swiss seeds are just like figuring themselves out. And then you get week 2, which is really exciting because you get elimination and you get decider matches.
Yeah.
And then obviously with a main event the week after. So that's like that's kind of like what the it's fun seeing all these new names in like a 16 team Swiss, but like realistically you only have like 2 really exciting weeks of broadcast in my opinion. So we'll see what happens, but there's some lurking storylines anyway.
I'm looking forward to a couple of rematches. Hypnos Vendetta could be really interesting. Wasp is a little bit of like a one-trick matchup. Eventually, the one-trick teams find each other. And then SI Check might end up in a rematch versus EXO, or SXO lose to Super Shy. But I really want SI Check to make it into the actual like top 16, or is it top 8 rather? Because then there's a chance they could go up against SSG, and I want to see the Rhine duel. Gotta give it to me, you know? The fans demand it. SSG Hardy versus Cloudy, you know?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Who was it? I think didn't LH Cloudy pull out the Rhine when he was on Ents? They did it once on like Colosseo and he had like 400 ping or something. I think they did it.
He played one game for Ents, yeah.
Yeah, he played one map or something. On stream. I think it was streaming too or something. But yeah, that'd be fun to see. Group D is like one heck of a group. I like Super Shy as well. I have a bit of a passion for Super Shy after their stage 2 performance. So it's a tough group. Ex Oblivion and Super Shy as our pick check. Well, I guess I'll have to go watch that Circuit Royale. But otherwise, I don't really have anything else for you in today's OWCS recap episode. NRG, I think, is probably the most... Yeah, go check out BPL. Go check out BPL, Solomon, and the crew putting in a ton of work, covering all the Swiss stages. They're covering group stage matches. Just BPL and Solomon are the GOAT. The goats? Many goats. The herd. I don't know. But we love the work. Thank you so much, Solomon and BPL.
Thank you. Go BPL.
Yeah, I don't know what else I can do, Solomon. If there's anything else, I tried. Sorry, I'm like losing it. But yeah, I wanted to say NRG Shock. Like, they made a lot of roster changes. Like, if you want to chat roster changes, you can talk about Nightmare and stuff, you know. It'll be exciting to see them putting together a lot of talent with an Infected, Seeker, Lethal. But Energy would be the team where, like, you add Kellan and Attack. Trees on that team now. Scissor is benched. Ultraviolet played really well, I think, with Kellan. Got a lot of value. So it'll be exciting to see if they can put that together.
Top 3 in A is pretty solidified, right? Like, you're in a position where TSM look like they're locked out of top 3 again. Am I wrong in saying that TSM probably don't make LAN again? They'll miss out on the 3rd LAN this year? What it looks like.
Not gonna be what do you mean, Stockholm?
Stockholm, yeah. TSM
yeah, I'd say Toronto, Energy, and Nightmare, yeah.
Damn, dude. TSM so close. After stage 1, it was so close, and then just couldn't make any LAN this year. No LANs. Zero LANs.
Yeah, they literally... I mean, they got Icy on the roster. Like, I feel like they kind of... If they wanted to, like, pop off, it'd be in the Diva meta, right? So, I'm like where do they go from here? Like, if it's... They can keep playing the Diva, but they kind of, like, show their hand, I felt like, against NRG. So, I don't know. They're good players. You never know what's going to happen. But I definitely put Nightmare, Toronto, and NRG as my top 3 right now. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, seems like NA will be pretty exciting this stage compared to the last stage. Well, the last 2 stages, because I think the last 2 stages was like just way too... Okay, Toronto's going to dominate, and then MA's not going to try, but they'll still win anyway, and then everyone else will just like Maybe that was just stage 2, because stage 1, Timeless had a bunch of Timeless/TSM had a bunch of upsets, which is really nice. But NA now actually looks pretty good on the top end, whereas Europe to me has always been kind of good on the top end. So really looking forward to where Europe's going to end up with their top teams. They have a situation right now where their top fours looking pretty scary, but then you have a couple of teams trying to reach into the top 4, and maybe Game of Gladiators could make a comeback for that. They're really gonna have to try hard.
Yeah, EMEA is actually because you have the 4 teams. It really makes for a fun tournament. We have 3 slots. You have Space Station Ends, Twisted Minds, and Virtus Pro, which I think are all like really respectable. So, yeah, it's a fun region. It'll be cool to follow. My brain is running out of fuel actively.
Yep, I think we're good. I think we're done.
I think we're good. I think we did the most we could. We didn't cover Pacific. we didn't cover Japan, but we tried. We tried, damn it.
Make a quick shout out. Pacific had a really good game last night between the top 2 teams, 99 Divine and Bleed Esports, who people remember Bleed from World Cup. So if anyone wanted to see a little bit of Pacific, that's like a really, really good game. Rest of Pacific's been a bit boring. Japan in general, just as like a super quick 30-second thing about it, is they've been super close. If you look at the Japanese games, there's been a lot of very competitive games. Japan last stage was a huge blowout. Varel just won everything, so it didn't really matter. Whereas right now, all the games have been like a lot more exciting. Japan, the top 4 is really mixed up. Varel's losing now. It's unclear who the best team is. Insomnia is kind of looking like the best team, but you know, we'll see how things land, because they've got some pretty exciting shakeups in the region.
Yep. I know who Brent's Player of the Week is going to be. I have absolutely nothing to say about Japan and Pacific. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have absolutely nothing to say. I would say Brent's Player of the Week, though. I mean, we already did Brent's Player of the Week on the episode earlier today.
Who did you give it to before? I didn't see the episode.
Who did we give it to? PG, I guess. PG for just dying 22 times. But
okay.
in Pacific, we can actually give it to Soggy. I think you pronounce it Soggy because of the 4 HP Dragon Blade.
Yeah? That was from last week, but we'll do it. We'll do it. He popped off again today. Sure. He got play the match again. I think he's going to play match every single time 99 Divides play. He's just so solid. Unbelievably solid. We have the clip. It's on my Twitter anyway. I'll bring that clip up.
Yeah.
4 HP Dragon Blade. That was an insane play.
I mean,
it might be one of the best.
Just like he drew it up.
One of the best like Genji plays generally that I've seen. Here it is. And it was versus Full House, which is Who Are You in FaZe. Now, Soggy tried to bait Who Are You into playing a Genji matchup, and Who Are You just never took it. Who Are You just never squared up on the Genji, which is so disappointing, because that's what you want Who Are You to play. But excuse the Twitter compression here, but
let's go.
Yeah, so he pulls Blade. I think he doesn't realize he's on 4 HP.
No, he dash blades immediately.
So he pulls Blade, he's 4 HP, then it has to instantly deflect, and then he gets healed and just pops off.
It's just an unbelievable Dragon Blade.
It's the most Genji clip of all time, isn't it? Like,
it is. It is extremely Chad how 4 HP and then stands still for like 2 seconds, like stares them in the eye, and then gets a 3K. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, that was such a good clip.
Amazing Dragon Blade.
He deserved that. He deserved to play the match and everything so far. Yeah, he's so good, mechanically so good. And he's not even good by Pacific standards. Remember, he's gone to LAN before. He's played in Korea for the Asia LAN, and he still looked good versus the Korean teams. So like, I think his mechanics is like on like a Korea level. Like, this is a guy that if he spoke Korean, could fit in as a flex DPS on like a Korean roster. And OWCS Korea for sure. That's my opinion of his mechanics are, in my opinion, like really high level.
Well, I love this. You've given me homework. I'm gonna go watch SR Pig check against Virtus Pro. That's good well. And I'm gonna go watch Bleed against 99 Divine. Amazing. I got some homework to do. And then maybe if I feel like it, I'll go watch some OWCS Japan. And practice some Japanese on Duolingo, because who knows? Maybe I'll get invited.
get invited and sleep on the floor and watch people scrim or something, whatever it is you want to
do. I don't know. I just want to hang. Just like, hey, Miko fan club, do you mind if I stop by?
They're not even in Japan. Like the only one in Japan is Tayo, I think. Like
yeah, well, Tayo. It's maybe Tayo wants to do an IRL stream or something. I don't know. Yeah. Show me around. So I don't know. This has just gone off the deep end. There you go.
Third player of the week? No, two is already like really insane.
Third player of the week.
Player of the weeks. No.
All right. Well, you'll be covering will you be co-streaming Korea or like do all the regions this week? What are you doing?
I don't know what I'm going to co-stream this weekend. I don't want to lose too much sleep, so I think I'll figure it out as I go along.
You're over the 3 regions co-stream?
Dude, I get if I do that, I get 0 sleep, genuinely. But I'm not casting this weekend. I casted last weekend. I'm not on this weekend.
Yeah.
I was just filling in for Matt last week because he was at Disneyland, so I'm not like a permanent thing or anything. I do want to catch some games. Maybe I'll watch NA this weekend because I'll try and wake up for it. We'll see.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. I'll be streaming. I think I'm gonna cover EMEA and NA.
I'll see you there.
It depends on how it goes. Yeah, exactly. We'll see you there. And then we'll be back with Plat Chat next week. We won't make a third Plat Chat episode today because that would be terrible. It would just not be good content. But I've been streaming more, hourly streaming. So if you want more of us, you can check out our streams. Check out BPL and Solomon and the content they're producing over the weekend too, supporting OWCS. So thank you for tuning in to this special edition, second episode with Avril here. We need a name for this if we're going to do this again. I don't know. Maybe we'll invite someone else on. Maybe at that point it just becomes Plat Chat because we're 4 people. Anyway, we're done. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Sorry, Solomon. That was an abrupt ending. We're going off air. We're done. I'm going to go. Romantic evening. Sure. I'm good for it.